What's poppin', everybody? This is Saber94. I am here on Cerebi today. We got the Wild Force Japanese set. Gonna be reviewing all the cards. By now, Paldean Fates is out. I know I didn't say anything about it. It's because it's a reprint set. There's a few new cards here and there, but it's nothing really sure. It's nothing really worth making an entire review video for. So that's why I skipped that. These sets, Wild Force and then the Cyber whatever, they're going to be pretty much the March set coming out, combined to be the March set. It's going to take a while until it comes out, but I'm going to review it since the scans are in Cerebi. So we got the usual grass Pokemon first. We got a Roselia, 60 HP, weaker than Roselia's from 10 years ago. If this Pokemon takes damage from an opponent's attack, poisoned, okay. Then we got Roserade, 130 HP, still a weakling. If this Pokemon takes damage from, okay, the same thing, you get poisoned. And then 70 for 2. Defending Pokemon can retreat. 2 weak, as usual. Oh shit, oh yeah, Torterra EX. Great. Looking forward to looking at that. Okay, so Turtwig, Solid Shell, 20 less damage from attacks with 80 HP. You know, here's a better idea. Give this guy 120 HP as a basic Pokemon, and then he doesn't need this ability, and then give him something else that's good. But of course, they're not going to do that. I like the artwork, I like the background. It's just the regular cards are always weak. And then we got Grottle, Cut, 20 for 1, weak, and then Ramen Shell, 50 for 3. And during your opponent's next turn, this Pokemon takes 20 less damage from attacks. So once again, weakling ass cards, you know, the 20 for 1. Christ, man, Christ. This is like 20 for 1 is what's the correct maths that I need to make? Is like 12 times or 15 times the amount of a rule box HP Pokemon today, like an EX or more. But they're still doing these, you know, 20 for 1 attacks. Like, this is freaking 15 years ago still. Anyway. So here's the main attraction, of course, the EX. So Torterra, one of my favorite starters. I go between this and Piplup, actually, in DP. I don't know which one I like more. I really like both. I'm really fond of this guy for many reasons. Competitive battling during the Wi-Fi days, TCG, in-game play. His design is just super cool. So 340 HP is a big guy EX, no doubt. The typical big for retreat and then the fire weakness. Forest March is going to do 30 damage for each of your grass Pokemon in play. So this is pretty nice already. It means that if we have 6 grass Pokemon, that is 180 for 1. That is incredibly good. With just 1 energy. Pretty good. I mean, nothing else I can say. You know, when they want to make something good, they know how to make something good. It's not difficult. And then the Jungle Hammer, goddamn, for a minute I thought it was 50, but is an error on Cerebi, is 150 for 3, and then heal 50 damage from this Pokemon. So this is much weaker and it costs more, but it's going to give you that healing, so it's that sort of thing with like Venusaur. Big tank Pokemon, you heal with your own attack or ability, and then maybe if you combine it with other healing cards, it can be an excellent tank your opponent can't take down. But the first attack is going to be the main attraction. I mean, I don't even see much point in if the first attack is so good, you putting like 3 energies just to do 150, it doesn't make sense. Like, even if you have like 4 Pokemon on your bench with this guy, you're doing 150. And even if you do 120 for 1, I mean, it's still better than attaching a couple of energies. But what do I know? I mean, it's the second attack. It's Torterra EX. Really glad. I saw like, what was it? I think on Poke Beach. They got like the news, and I saw this guy. He was getting an EX, but I didn't read the card. So, pretty cool. Looking forward to it to come out. I mean, Fire decks, nothing. I mean, I guess there's a few, maybe people use decks of Magma Basin. I don't know, like the Entei with the Gallade. Iron Valiant, whatever the fuck. I don't think the weakness is going to be that much of a problem. Just a nice EX Pokemon. You can just use with Pidgeot. It's going to be simple stuff. Okay. We got a Shaman, 70 HP. Once again, keep in mind, Shamans have had 70 HP from the Platinum set where it debuted in 2008. So, just want to hit my head on the wall all the time. And it does 60 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. That's a V or EX. That's it. So against, if it's not a V or EX, this attack doesn't do anything. 50 for 2, also shit. It's got free retreat, but that's about it. Got Cottony and Whimsicott. Filler. I can't be wasting time on these cards that everyone knows is going to be bad. So, Floaty Heal. Once during your turn, when you play this card from your hand, you may heal all damage from your active grass Pokemon. Oh my god. If you do, discard all grass energy from that Pokemon. So this is just like a, I think at least, there was like a stage 2 in the first Scarlet and Violet set that sort of did that. I don't remember if it discarded energy or not. I guess we can go look maybe, but the point is they're obviously doing this to just give even more help to Torterra. Since it just works with one energy, it does so much damage. You get the Whimsicott out too, and it's just a max potion tank, and then you just attach another grass energy and it works. So, I like Torterra, so I'll be happy if it's good, but I don't like when they do just these super obvious build-it-yourself archetype, where it's just so easy to just make something good. I mean, the card would have been good as it is, but then they just give it this thing. So it's going to be broken now. So maybe Fire decks are going to have to be used. Otherwise you can't kill the Torterra. I mean, there's not going to be anything that can do 340 damage to one-shot this thing. Even Charizard, when it's down to one prize, you can't kill him. So if you're going to have to two-shot and then you got Whimsicott healing his ass, it's just going to be very difficult. Anyway. Looks like there are some fire Pokemon here though. Actually, never mind. We got Heatmore. 20 for 1 once again, and then Licking Fire. Discarding energy from this Pokemon. What? For each tells discarding energy from this Pokemon, not the opponent. Yeah, 130 for 3 would have been weak anyway. They gotta give it discarding costs though. Then you got the this dude, Sizzlipede, and then Senti-Scorch. Burn with no damage, no effect. Pathetic as usual, they still do this. And then Charring Breath, 180 for 2 if your opponent's active Pokemon is not burned. This attack does nothing. Way to go. It would have just barely been a decent little Pokemon if it could have done 180 for 2. It would have still been dead with 140 HP against anything, but at least you know you got maybe a semi-workable attack. But of course, they gotta give it this condition. If then your Pokemon isn't burned, you can't do shit. Fuck the Pokemon Company, man. Fuck all the designers for insisting on this nonsense. You got Torterra, which is just gonna do 180 for 1 energy. That's it. And then they got this dude, a stage 2 Pokemon, that needs all of these extra conditions. Or a stage 1, but whatever, you get what I mean. Just too useless. And then we got this Gouging Fire. Damn, it's like an Entei, almost like a fan-made version. So, Gouging Fire EX. Okay, it looks like they're really just fond of this word these days. You got Frenzied Gouging on Roaring Moon. You got this guy being called Gouging. So 60 for 2. That's not that good. And then Exploding Fire 260. This Pokemon can't use Exploding Flare until it leaves the active spot. So that's not much of a condition, to be honest. And I think this guy must be like an ancient Pokemon, right? Yeah, I knew they were going to give these dudes more support. So if this is correct, you can make him 290 with the capsule. He's got the Sada support too. So this might be another alternative. And it's pretty much something that I guess this is going to be an answer to Torterra. So If people use Torterra, other people use this, you got that matchup going for you. We're going to have a nice little circle that appears from grass decks, fire decks, and water decks killing each other. How Pokemon wants it according to Celio's network. But there's nothing really much I can say about this card. I mean, we still got Magma Basin. You can use that for help. This is going to be compatible with Sada because I think this must be an ancient Pokemon from the looks of things. And yeah, nothing else to add. We got for Alligator line. Been a while since I've seen you. And what do you do? These guys just don't do much as always, the regular Pokemon. 180 HP, a weakling as usual. And once during your turn, you may put 5 damage counters on this Pokemon. If you do, this Pokemon's attacks deal 120 more damage to your opponent's Pokemon during this turn. Wow. So you can do 280 for 2 this way. And this Pokemon can't use Great Wave during your next turn. Now, this basically just turns this guy into a 130 HP Pokemon, which I fucking hate. I mean, 280 for 2 would have been busted without any sort of effect. So maybe we'll have to take that sacrifice. God damn, they're motherfucking doing construction again. They're sort of building apartments near me, so you got the tractors doing shit. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Anyway, so I guess this is going to be the answer to kill the fire Pokemon, the Gaijin Fire Entei. I don't know, it's a stage 2. People are just going to use Chien-Pao instead. But maybe we can just use this with Palkia V-Star to give him a little boost, power him up. I really don't know. I mean, you just know, once you make this attack, you do 280, which doesn't even kill stage 2 EXs anyway. He's going to be dead next turn, because he's going to be at 130 HP. He would have been dead with 180 HP anyway. Weak to lightning too, super easy. Lightning decks are powerful as well. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe I'll find a way to use it because I'm just that motherfucker that always wants to use the stage, always wants to use the stage 2s, trying to make them work. But I doubt, I'm just going to be frustrated like with other regular Pokemon. You got Carvanha and Sharpedo. We've been getting a lot of Sharpedo cards and they always make them shit. Don't be fucking shit this time. Of course you're going to be shit. So 100 for 3, terrible, and then 50 for 2. And it just discards cards from your opponent's hand based on coin flip, so more bullshit. It's got some interesting artwork, man, this sort of a style. I just wish you were better. Damn. Got a Keldeo. Draw 2 cards with 20 for 1. Puts to shame the other dudes that just did 20 for 1. And then Aqua Blade, 110 for 3. Whatever. Got a Frostmoth line. Defending Pokemon can attack during your opponent's next turn. So strong effect. If your opponent uses a switch, they can play around it, but it's something, I guess. Of course, it's still weak. 100 for 2, 110 HP, weak. It could have just... It would have been better off if it did more damage, maybe, but what the hell do I know? Search your deck for an item card. Put it into your hand. And then... it doesn't look like there's the evolution here. Maybe it's a different type. We got Finizen... Finizen, yeah. Little dolphin. And Palafin. It evolves from the dolphin. So 130 and then does 10 damage to itself for each damage counter already on this Pokemon. This actually doesn't matter, to be honest, because you're never going to have damage counters. You're always going to be dead with 150 HP. So this is basically a 130 for 1 attack, all things considered. So I kind of like it. It's going to be another alternative to the Dawn Fan that I've missing from Vivid Voltage. That card wasn't very good, and this probably won't be that good either. But it's something. This is definitely going to be a much better Pokemon than something like Feraligatr, because the stage 1, they've almost got the same HP anyway. They're dying in one shot regardless. And you do quicker damage. I mean, if Feraligatr was gonna die, you do 280. This attack twice, you're at 260. I mean, you can just get these stage 1s out quicker. And the way the format is shaped up, it's the only way for regular Pokemon to even be able to do something. Attack quick with one energy, die, and then use the next one. Alright, the second attack doesn't matter. That's it. And we got Walk-in Wake EX. God, these names are just so lame. I hate all of these stupid ass names they're giving these Pokemon. So another ancient Pokemon for Suicune this time. Cerulean Pulse. Damage from this Pokemon's attacks is not affected by any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. So this is a useful ability. You know that you can play around Mimikyu and Aegislash. So rest in peace to anybody still wanting to use Aegislash now. Catharsis Roar, fancy pants name. So if your opponent's active Pokemon is affected by any special condition, this does 240 per 3. We're gonna need something to inflict status. I'm sure there must be some Pokemon around that do this through like an ability or something that I'm forgetting. I know that we got shit in expanded. In standard, what will we have? I think it is like that Weeping Bell. It was with that Salazzle. I mean, I know that Salazzle is rotating out. I think at least. So maybe it's going to be in the same set that rotates out too. Who knows? But yeah, it's not as strong as the Entei. But it can kill the Entei because it's a water Pokemon. Plus, I mean, the ability is nice too. I'd rather have, like, it's better than having the first attack on the Entei. And at the end of the day, I mean, if you just throw this in water with Chien-Pao, it's fine anyway. Even if you just do 120, you can just have this in as something to attack the Mimikyus. But I mean, then again, you always had Baxcalibur in those decks anyway, so it might be unnecessary, who knows. That you can use Sada with this as well. So yeah, the Sada engine is getting better and better. I mean, I knew they were going to do more ancient Pokemon when they did this sort of archetype in Paradox Rift. They were going to do more stuff like that, just like how the battle styles, Rapid Strike and Single Strike shit was. Then we got Walk Trio EX. So that's why it didn't have an evolution, is because it comes as an electric Pokemon here. So 250 HP, Troika Pump. Discard up to 3 energy from your hand and choose one of your opponent's Pokemon. 60 damage to that Pokemon for each energy you discarded in this way. Wow. So this is a pretty powerful snipe. I mean, you gotta discard a bunch of cards from your hand, but it's not that big of a deal when you think about it, when you're getting this big of a snipe. It's a decent little trade-off. You can kill things. Even more trouble for the regular Pokemon trying to set up. Like, just think about this. This thing comes out. You're trying to evolve into your stage 2, stage 1's Pokemon, whatever. If you don't got Manaphy down, they just gotta discard an energy from their hand, attach one of this dude, and you're just killing your dudes. Unbelievable. It's not this card's fault, it's the designer's fault for still printing the regular Pokemon with 60 HP as opposed to 130 HP, 120 HP. Anyway, so Tingly Bolt during your opponent's next turn. Infinite Pokemon can retreat, whatever. So this is your conventional attack, but Troika Pump is just too good. You're always going to be doing that, I think. There's a lot of easy methods for energy recovery and energy adding these days. The Eldegoss from Evolving Skies is going to rotate out though, and I forgot to mention that in my rotation video too. But you'll still be able to use this, I think. It's going to be a very fast disruptive Pokemon. Plus it's a lightning type too. Alright. Moving on to Marill and Azumarill. It's so weird looking at you at Psychic Pokemon. They almost look like Delta species Pokemon. It's because they're supposed to be fairies too, but it's just so weird. I guess a little bit of a different type of look, I guess. So 140 for 3, don't do anything, and then play rough. 60 for 1 if you get heads, yeah. Man. Are you fucking kidding me, man? Fucking kidding me. Donphan Prime and a million other Pokemon did 60 for 1 all these years ago. Even a Doctrio from XY, like 10 years ago, did 60 for 1. And this thing needs to flip a coin too. Flabbergasted, man. I am flabbergasted by their insistence. 40 if it's a Psychic Pokemon. And then Bronzong. This guy always gets a lot of cards too, but it's been a while since we've seen a good one. During your opponent's next turn, they can't play Pokemon to evolve their Pokemon in play. Huh. It doesn't say active or bench, so you can just block them from evolving from anything. Damn. I think this might be... It could become problematic, but I mean, there's all the decks that don't evolve into Pokemon anyway. They're not gonna care. He's got weak HP, so he's not gonna last. So yeah, I like the artwork, I like the background. I don't think it's gonna be that strong, but you never know. It doesn't have the limitation of bench or active, which is usually what ruins these sort of attacks. So who knows? Solosis and Duosion, these cards always piss me off because they want to give them even less HP than usual. Just complete weaklings, man. A stage 1 with 80 HP. And then the stage 2 with 120 HP. Joke. So 100 for 2 with Confusion, and then look at the top 8 cards of your deck, choose any number of Pokemon, and then place them onto your bench. Okay, so he's going to be one of those gimmick dudes that we can use this to get a bunch of other stage 2 Pokemon easily on the bench. Now, I guess this is much easier to use than the damn Cradily from Plasma Blast. I'll give him that. You still gonna have to reveal some Pokemon in those 8 though, and if you just reveal 1, it's not gonna be too nice. You just gotta get at least 2 for this to be really worthwhile. Is it still gonna be worth it? Probably not. It's just things are even more competitive now than ever. So even with a gimmick like this to get a bunch of stage 2 Pokemon down, I don't see this card being effective in serious play. It might just end up being the gateway to some gimmick bullshit control decks. Maybe if you get lucky, your opponent is running slow, you can get maybe a few stage 2 Pokemon with this, and then try and do stuff, but it's not going to be a tier 1 deck in all probability. Weakness to Darkness 2, terrible HP as it is. I mean, yeah, it's just simple stuff. Roaring Moon kills this thing even without needing a stadium. Okay. Flutter Mane. So an Ancient Mischievous. As long as this Pokemon is in the active spot, your opponent's active Pokemon has no abilities except for Fluttering Dusk. Okay. So, this is kind of like the Klefki, but it's only gonna affect the active, but it's going to negate its ability regardless of if it's an evolution Pokemon or basic. And then Fly and Curse, 90 for 3, and then put 2 damage counters on your opponent's bench Pokemon any way you like. So 110 total. That's kind of weak, but I mean, it works with any energy at least. So maybe a decent little wall Pokemon. It's not like we're losing Klefki anytime soon. Okay. Got a Relicanth. Each of your evolved Pokemon can use any attacks from its previous evolutions. Nice. Okay, I dig this because it's a basic Pokemon. It's pretty much going to be a memory berry for all of your Pokemon. And it's just easy to use. It's not going to be a stadium. It's not going to be a tool. Pretty cool on the Relicanth, a Pokemon that I like too. Damn, what do we got though that we can really utilize? Like memory berry shit. We should have had this back when, like, there was that golem. Damn it. Anyway. I don't know. I guess I'm just going to have to look at the cards, see what we can really utilize with this. I think there's like a damn, maybe, I forgot its name. That fire starter from Sun and Moon. But I don't know. It's Litten, the second evolution I forgot, and then the third evolution, the Lucha guy. I forgot that too. Anyway. Got Golett and Golurk. So 160 HP. This guy, he's trying, but still would die in one shot. So Iron Defense, flip a coin if heads during your opponent's next turn. He's going to be immune to everything. And then Clairvoyant Fist. If your opponent's active Pokemon is a Pokemon EX or V, it's going to do 240. So kind of an anti-meta card, but the cost is still too high. You're going to do 240 total. There's basic Pokemon that can do this more effectively. I mean, not Groudon, but that other legendary, Ting-Lu, I think. I can just do this easy in Claydol. 3 energies do 220. That's almost the same. And I don't gotta evolve. It works with any energy, this guy, but I still don't know, man. I mean, maybe in some deck with energy acceleration, you can use this as a counter to something weak to fighting. I don't know, but it's not fully useless, but once again, it's just always nerfed. These cards are just like nerfed from the beginning. Handicapped. Muttstale and Mudbray. Haven't seen these cards in a while. Little Horsey was always cute. This dude, 150 stage 1. High horsepower, 140 for 3, but it has an effect here. I bet you just do 40 damage to yourself for some bullshit. This attack is weak as it is, and you're gonna have a shit condition too. I just know it. And then Mudstock, attach a basic fighting energy from your discard pile to each of your benched Pokemon. That's not too bad, but it doesn't do any damage. It's a stage 1, it's just too slow. I'd rather use Ting-Lu, Groudon. There's just so many other Pokemon that are gonna do this more effectively while you're setting up with Claydol or something. So, a failure of a card once again. Then we got the Colossal Line making a return. You guys don't do much as usual. And then the big boy, Gatling. This attack does 80 more damage for each fire energy attached to this Pokemon. So you're gonna need a fighting energy. Well, actually, wait a minute. I hope it doesn't say basic. If it doesn't say basic fire energy, then we can just put a luminous energy on this, and it's gonna count as a fighting and a fire. So we can essentially do 120 for 1, and this is a stage 2, which makes it a little bit sweet for me. Still probably too weak, but a little bit sweet at least. But if it says it's got to be a basic fire energy, then you're gonna need a fighting, and then you're gonna need a fire to just do 120 for 2, and that's shit. Now, I mean, I'm trying to think of a way. Is there a way to just accelerate energy on this and we can just do more damage? Like, if you had 2 fire energies and the fighting, you're at 200 for 3, which isn't anything impressive at all. The Cragalanche, it does 150 for 4, and discard the top 2 cards of your opponent's deck. That's a nice little effect, but the damage is very weak for 4 freaking energies. So, at best you're just going to be able to use this as a shittier version of a Tyrannodar, stage 2. Just do a lot of damage for 1 energy, and it's sad. Even like that dolphin thing, it'll be more effective for 1 energy. We'll see. I like the coastal line, so I always try and find ways to make these guys work, but fuck, that's all I can say. So a regular Great Tusk, 160 for 4, and then Crossed Collapse. Discard the top card of your opponent's deck. If you played an Ancient Supporter from this turn, discard 3 more cards. Okay, so another mill deck. It has a condition at least, but I'm not very pleased with this. We'll see what happens. Not to mention, you can put like the capsule on this thing and it's going to be 200 as a basic Pokemon. So it might actually be tough to take out too while you're trying to deck out your opponent. Anyway, I'll take a quick sip of water. Please excuse me. Guys, make sure you subscribe, you leave a like, share the video with your friends while I'm doing this. It's a pain in the ass talking for hours, yelling on the screen, making these set reviews. So we got Ekans and Arbok next. We got these in the 151 and didn't really do that much. I think we got Arbok EX from that too, actually. Oh, fuck. What about you? 70 for 2, pathetic, absolutely pathetic. Bibaro from Stormfront did 60 for 2 in 2008. When you did 60 for 2 back then, you got 2 hit KOs on SP Pokemon. Best case scenario, I mean, worst case scenario, you got 3 hit KOs on some of the biggest Pokemon with like 140 HP, maybe stage 2s, that kind of thing. You did a decent chunk. 7 HP for 2 nowadays, that is like 1/4 of a V-Star's HP, 1/5 of an EX's, stage 2 EX's HP. So it is absolutely pathetic. Why don't the designers understand that? It doesn't make sense. You are not improving the regular Pokemon at the correct and balanced rate. It's not fair. Okay, a Gengar EX, goddamn. So Ghastly doesn't look like it's doing shit. Same 60 HP as always, weaklings. This guy too, just so weak. It looks kind of funny looking, kind of cool looking, with the sort of flashlight pointing at it. But artwork aside, they're just weak. 1 attack, not even good. Okay, and there's Gengar EX. So zoom in on his face, smiling, laughing, with its evil, in an evil manner, let's just say that. Sort of reminded me of the Prime. So a 310 HP EX, so it's already going to be much weaker than Charizard and the other EXs. And Corrode and Curse, whatever your opponent attaches an energy from their hand to their Pokemon, put 2 damage counters on that Pokemon. So this is exactly the same ability that the Gengar from Crimson Invasion had a lot of years ago by now. I guess in maybe 2016. I'm pretty sure that was the year Crimson Invasion came out. Maybe it was 2017, I don't know. Probably 2017 actually. So 7 years ago at this point. Damn. But that card didn't do much because it was a stage 2 Pokemon. The attack wasn't good. If it had a good attack that you could put pressure and you had the ability to put further pressure, then maybe it would have been a decent little stage 2 back then, even if it wasn't going to be tier 1, just something somebody could use, like me. So this dude is an EX, so it's going to be a little bit more format compatible, let's just say. And the Trick Step attack does 160 for 2, and then you may move 1 energy from your opponent's active Pokemon to one of their benched Pokemon. So this is a disruptive effect. You don't necessarily discard their energies, but you're going to move the energies to a Pokemon that's like a support Pokemon, like maybe Bibarel that's not doing shit. It's not going to be the easiest things to pull off these days because, you know, if you, against the Charizard deck, if you put the energy on Pidgeot, then they can just use Pidgeot to attack maybe. Against Roaring Moon decks, anywhere you put them, they're probably going to have something to attack with. I don't know, I mean, it'll probably have some kind of use. It's not useless, but again, I mean, in Chien-Pao, you're putting the energy somewhere else. Chien-Pao can still utilize it, discard it next turn to just kill you, so I don't know, I mean, it actually would have been better if you could conserve your energy, so I know that at least once I get 2 energies on this dude, I can just move the energy on the other one while I'm getting the stage 2s out if they're going to be dying. So it's going to be very difficult. I mean, I had one guy in the comments hoping I'll find a way to use this dude. Now that I look at him, I do wonder. I mean, okay, so the ability is going to be pretty good against decks like Chien-Pao. So that's pretty good over there. But because you don't do that much damage with your attack, it just almost balances that out. If they attach like 3 energies in a turn with like an effect, 6 damage counters on that Pokemon. I mean, Chien-Pao, they don't even have to like put them on that guy though. They can just put them on a different Pokemon. Oh my god, those sirens outside are pissing me off. Those tractors. Anyway. So what was I saying? Okay, so against Chien-Pao, they put the energies on other Pokemon, so Chien-Pao doesn't even get the damage. Even if they put the damage on that dude, you're still not gonna be able to do that much. I don't know, man. At least it works from everywhere. If you just had to be active too, it would have been even weaker. But it leaves a lot to be desired. I mean, the ability can be pretty strong. I guess the great thing about it is that if you do get a bunch of these out, then the ability stacks, then it can become pretty powerful. So perhaps with Pidgeot, I don't know though. I mean, it's not going to be easy. But it leaves a lot to be desired in the sense that it doesn't even have 330 HP like Charizard. If they're going to give it 310, they should have gave it like Free Retreat or something too. Fighting Weakness. There's a bunch of maybe fighting Pokemon that can be used that are going to kill this guy easy. So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. It's all I can really say. I will need to look at more cards. Maybe if there's a partner he can use here that helps. Okay, we got Poochyena and Mightyena. And you do 130 for 3. It's bad, but at least you don't have a negative effect. And your opponent switches their active Pokemon, one of our bench Pokemon, whatever. It's too bad. They're never going to be good. And you got Sableye. Damage collect. Move as many damage counters as you like from your opponent's bench Pokemon to your opponent's active Pokemon. So some busted ass stuff. Oh, it's from your opponent's bench Pokemon to your opponent's active Pokemon. So it's not even your dudes. You get to heal like Wobbuffet and shit. So Yeah, I don't see this being that good. You got a regular Roaring Moon. So you got Vengeful Feathers. Attack does 10 more damage for each ancient card in your discard pile. Fucking hell. Holy. So the Roaring Moon deck gained a regular attacker with its regular form now. People are still gonna probably favor things like the Morpeko. Galarian Moltres is gonna rotate out anyway, so we won't have that regardless. Plus, not everybody uses that. Morpeko gives you that free retreat and lets you move energies, but this is just a much more potent attacker. Plus, it has more HP, and with the capsule, it becomes even more respectable. 200 HP Pokemon only give you a win-1 prize. Kinda seems cool. And then Speed Wing, that's not so good, but I mean, I guess you can use this too. 120 for 4. I don't know, I mean, these types of like Mad Party Night March decks, they're always something too. So maybe people are just gonna build a deck completely centered around this card. And maybe just have one Roaring Moon EX as an endgame guy. Who knows? But there's a lot of ideas and ways to use this card for sure. In the standard Roaring Moon decks, making a deck centered around him. I mean, yeah. So my beloved Salamence gets a lot of love, but on this alternate shit form. If only they made the original Salamence cards so good. But they're just giving all the good cards to this dude now. Damn. Okay, we got Koraidon as a dragon. And it uses fire and fighting energies too. How unique. But I mean, I guess it's because it's a dragon. So Shred does 130 and then ignores effects. That's pretty nice. That's always good. And then Primeval Battering. 30 damage to each of your ancient Pokemon in play. So another strong ancient Pokemon. So if you got 6 dudes, that's 180 for 2, goddamn. That's a lot of strong regular ancient Pokemon. He's going to be compatible with the capsule too, no weakness. Yeah. These guys are strong, man. Fuck. Are they going to make the Cyber dudes this strong too? I wonder. Then we got the Raging Bolt EX. Such a lame form for Raikou. They made him a freaking giraffe. Fuck, man. So it's a dragon type Pokemon. So that's something. It has the highest HP of the dudes, I think, at 240. And then you discard your hand to draw 6 cards. I'm not too fond of this, but I guess it's a support draw attack early game if you don't have much going on. And then Extreme Ascend. Lightning and a fighting, you may discard any amount of basic energy attached to your Pokemon in play. This attack does 70 damage for each card you discarded this way. So basically, if you discard 3, you're at 210. Am I right? I'm right. If you discard 4, you're at 280. And if you discard 5, you get 1 hit KOs on anything. So if you guys can read my mind, you know what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about using this with the Claydol from Silver Tempest. It gets another great card you can use. Plus, this guy is just a basic. He's an EX too. He's an ancient Pokemon, so we can put the damn capsule on him too. So even though he's not the coolest as a damn giraffe, I mean, when you look at him like this, it almost looks like a dragon. So it's not too bad. But when you look at the whole artwork, he's a freaking giraffe, so I'm not that fond of him. However, as a card, he's pretty strong. I can use this with Claydol. There's probably other ways you can make use of him. You can put lightning energies on. So Fluffy is an option too. Oh yeah. So we're getting back that fucking Ray Eels kind of a deck. It pleases me. It's just going to be much better than Rayquaza VMAX, which you had to evolve. Didn't even do that much damage for being a VMAX and the risk it was carrying. Really nice. Yeah, that's all I really got. I mean, Fluffy is going to rotate, unfortunately. Maybe they're gonna give us something else here, who knows? But I'm really looking forward to this dude. There's a lot of cards that I'm digging from this set, actually. I preferred the ancient cards over the cyber ones from the previous set too, because we got too much technology these days on our planet. Going back to our roots in nature a little bit would be better. So yeah. Hoot hoot. Noctal. You may search your deck for 2 cards, put them into your hand, then shuffle your deck. It's gonna die in 1 shot. Very menacing, sort of a Castlevania Bloodborne artwork here, but you're just too weak, unfortunately. You gotta put 2 energies to do this too. Damage isn't great. It's stage 1. Anyway, and by the way, I mean, it goes without saying, you can use Sada to give this guy energies too. So, got all of the good support. You got Dunsparce and then the worst fucking evolution ever. Ever. I mean, I had such a great idea for a Dunsparce evolution. It was going to be so cool. And then they decided, hey, let's just give this guy an extra belly or something, an extra ass. And this is going to be his evolution. Pathetic, man. Ugly. Uncreative. Nothing like people criticize like Gen 1 for some of its evolutions. Nothing like that at all. I'm sorry. At least with some of that shit in Gen 1, they made sense. But anyway, you just draw in Skedaddle. So once during your turn, you may draw 3 cards, then shuffle this Pokemon and all cards into your deck. It's actually pretty strong, even though this guy is a lame evolution. This is pretty good. I mean, it's a stage 1, so never mind. I thought it was, yeah. Almost thinking about it's a basic, that's how lame it is. But if you have to evolve and then you go back to the deck, it kind of is fucked up a little bit. But if it was a basic, then you can just draw with this and then it goes back in the deck. I guess it would have been busted this way. It's an alternative to the barrel, but I don't think it's going to be a good one. And what about the regular one? It doesn't do shit as you would expect. Chatot. Search your deck for up to 3 basic Pokemon, put them onto your bench. So, pretty cool. This sort of a Pachirisu effect that I used to love from Great Encounters, but different format. We got the Bombardier Bird that not a lot of people really used anyway. That just does this better because you can use it when you play first too. And we got Minccino clay artwork. Like it. And just discards a Pokemon tool, that's it. And then Cinccino, gentle slap, special rollout, 70 damage for each special energy attached to this Pokemon. Damn, that's actually pretty dangerous. So does this mean if you're losing and you put the reversal, you're doing 210? It's kind of crazy, man. Is this how the ruling is gonna work? Maybe. I don't know. If it works like that, it's gonna be pretty busted. It would have been pretty cool if we had the Porygon Z that attached special energies from the hand, but that rotated. That rotated, right? I mean, it must have by now. Maybe I should check, but I mean, it would still be like a stage 2 with a stage 1. Anyway, we're down to the trainers. We got the order box here. After you use this card, your turn ends. Search your deck for up to 2 item cards, reveal them and put them into your hand. Fuck! Are you fucking kidding me? It's almost like they want those Snorlax and other troll-ass bullshit decks to become even better. That's what you want, don't you? This is an item, so they can use like a supporter card and use this to draw 2 cards, get 2 item cards. I'm not fond of this card at all. At all. Because it's just gonna be exploited in those decks, mostly. We got Drum of Awakening. Draw a card for each of your ancient Pokemon in play. Broken as all hell. But I think this is, okay, an A-spec card. Oh yeah, they're bringing A-specs back too. I forgot to say that about this set. So this is an A-spec. It works with ancient Pokemon though. This is extremely broken though for Roaring Moon, which is already extremely fast and turbo. So by the time the rotation happens, it's not even gonna matter when they're gonna get shit like this. Holy shit. And you can use Darkrai V-Star to get this back too. Wonderful. I think we're getting into some tier 0 times. For fuck's sake. And I don't like that. Then we got the Close Friends Pofin. That's some DP stuff. Why did they remember this shit now? I don't know. Search your deck for up to 2 basic Pokemon with HP of 70 or lower and put them onto your bench. Ah, the fuck. So, we're losing the fucking VIP pass, and we're getting this, which is pretty much the same thing, more consistent. I guess you can't get the big Roaring Moons and those types of Pokemon, but format I guess isn't going to slow down like I thought. Make some of the shit I said in my rotation video pointless now. Okay, broken card. And we got the emergency board too. Probably going to be some kind of retreating card, right? So the retreat cost of the Pokemon this card is attached to is 1 less. If that Pokemon has 30 HP or less remaining, it has no retreat cost. So, kind of a Floatstone-esque card. We've been needing something like this, I think. It gives you an extra effect of becoming a Floatstone if you're almost dead. I mean, they're just so predictable. The moment I saw this being like a skateboard, I knew it was going to be some retreating type card. You got the Ancient Booster Capsule reprint over here. You got the Maximum Belt. A-Spec as well. Attach this. Attacks from the Pokemon this card is attached to deal 50 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon EX. Thank God. If they made this hurt the regular dudes. Oh my God, that fucking Iron Hands was going to be so busted. So, this is only going to deal extra damage to EXs. How it should be. It's pretty strong. It's going to be much easier to secure one-hit KOs with this now. But this is something that regular Pokemon can use too, right? So it's great. It's pretty good. It's going to make a lot of cards a lot more relevant now. When you can get those KOs. I mean, shit is just going to be so aggressive so fast now. I've been hoping the format just becomes a little bit more slow, but it's only going to get worse when this set comes out. And we got this dude, Explorer's Foray. Look at the top 6 cards of your deck, put 2 of those cards in your hand, and discard the other 4 cards. So, another variant of Chorus. More range. You get less cards, you get more discard too, and is an ancient supporter. So yeah, I mean, the Salamence deck, the Roaring Moon deck, where the fuck are you? Yeah, you're gonna be able to make like a Night March-esque deck with this dude, if they're giving them this supporter now. You got Airy. Isn't this, almost looks like damn Professor Bitch. With a mask on, whatever. So your opponent reveals their hand, discard up to 2 item cards you find there. So another card to be in stall decks. You can just use this in Snorlax and they just lose their fucking switches. Fuck. Fuck this shit, man. Fuck that card too. Then we got Morty's Confidence. Discard a card from your hand. Draw a card for each of your opponent's benched Pokemon. Okay, so they realized the Zinnia was not that good with that double discard. So they made this guy discard only 1 card. But then you only draw a card for each of your opponent's benched Pokemon. The active doesn't count. So it's pretty much going to be the same shit now, isn't it? You don't really get that much straight draw. For this to be good, they pretty much gotta have a full bench so that you draw 5. Because if it's just 4, then it's almost like a shittier schoolgirl. It's too bad, but I mean, we're gonna be losing supporters with the rotation, so maybe something like this is gonna be good. Dangerous jungle. During Pokemon checkup, put 2 more damage counters on poison Pokemon, excluding dark type Pokemon. Oh yeah, so that Moon doesn't get affected, of course. Anyway, okay, it's like Burbank City Gym, just darkness Pokemon are going to be immune. And then we got Neo Superior Energy. I got a bad feeling about this card. So, okay, it's an A-Spec Energy. So when attached to a Pokemon, this card provides 1 colorless energy. If this card is attached to a Stage 2 Evolution Pokemon, it provides 2 energy of any type. So it's going to be a Rainbow Energy, double Rainbow Energy, but it's got to be on a Stage 2 Pokemon. I actually think it's a bit nerfed. I mean, since you can only have 1 of this in your entire deck, maybe they could have made this work with anything. Just be a double Rainbow Energy for any Pokemon, even basics. I mean, maybe I'm just talking out of my ass. It's good that they made it a bit balanced. But yeah, another choice for an A-Spec card. I mean, we got some decent options. You got the energy, you got the tool that's going to give so much more boost, and ancient decks are probably going to love the drum for more draw. But I really just think that bonus damage with the maximum belt is going to be the most popular one. I really think so. Okay, and then everything else I think is just alternate arts, reprints, shit like that. And that's the Ancient Wild Force set, a very, very powerful set. I want to say I imagine the Cyber one is going to match it, but maybe this one is just going to be miles better. There's a lot of playable cards and decks that emerge from this set alone, let alone the whole English set we're going to get. Things are going to be really broken, really fast. Just a lot of power attackers, man. Everywhere. Wactrio, you got Entei, you got Torterra, Moon, Roaring Moon. Fuck. Raikou, Giraffe Raikou is going to be pretty good. Gengar, unfortunately, it might just be the weakest dude. Is there any other EX that's weaker than you from here? I don't think so. It's this guy, it's going to be the most difficult dude to use. And you know what sucks about him too? It works from the hand as well. If it worked with anywhere, then Moon actually would have been in some trouble. But because it just works from the hand, it's just too difficult to work. I don't know, man. So to the dude that asked me to make a deck with that card, I mean, I'm sorry, man. I think it's going to be too difficult when shit is going to be so fast and so strong to use the Gengar. We get A-Specs, we get this broken, you know, mini Pokemon collector card now. Yeah. But very, very strong set. It's been a while since we've seen such a strong set, I want to say. It's just strong-ass cards everywhere you look here. Even some of the regular Pokemon, they're not going to be that good, but they're more workable than other shit. Like the Dolphin here, Palafin. Maybe, I doubt it, but maybe even things like Feraligatr and Colossal. We can make them work. Okay, so this is going to do it for the Wild Force set review. I hope you guys enjoyed. Look forward to this set. It's going to be broken. Subscribe to the channel, leave a like, share the video with your friends, and I will see you guys next time. What-ay?